Good morning. This is Joelle Kahn, Mrs. Kahn, or Miss Joelle. I'm Charlotte's mom, and we're going to do a video about sunflowers today for Earth Day. So, hopefully you guys have all gone to the school and picked up, I'm about to drop them off, one of these bags. In it is a whole kit for you guys to use when we do this lesson. So let's see. The first thing we're going to get out of our kit is our piece of paper. And on it, I'd like to read you a little bit about it. First of all, happy Earth Week. Thursday is Earth Day. So this is a big day for taking care of our environment. So we wanted to do a good lesson about that. Let's read the top paragraph here. It says, Sunflowers for Earth Week. Planting flowers, other plants, or trees is a wonderful way to celebrate Earth Week. They help clean Earth's air, the plants do. Plants use our waste carbon dioxide, which is CO2, and can absorb other pollutants in the air to make the food and sugars they need for photosynthesis. They release oxygen and carbon, which helps clean and balance the Earth's air. All right, folks. Get out a little piece of paper, or you can even write on the back. I'm going to ask you some questions. So I'd like you to put number 1 here. Here's the first question. Okay, I'll ask it, and then you write your answer here. You can pause the video and come back. Based on what we just read, my question is, what do plants release into the air that we breathe that helps balance the Earth's air? Okay, pause, answer. All right, let's go to the next part of our page here. It says, how does a sunflower grow? We're going to talk about the sunflower life cycle. It's a very tall plant. I'll bet you guys know what sunflowers look like. Here are some of the blooms when they're fully in bloom. These are the seeds you're going to have later. It's a bright yellow flower usually. Like all plants, it's got starts with a tiny seed. So let's look at number 1, tiny seed. Inside the sunflower seed is a small embryo or a baby plant. The shell of the seed protects the plant until it is ready to grow. So when you think of a sunflower seed, do you guys remember what sunflower seeds look like that we eat for snacks sometimes? I'm gonna show you the packet. They look like that, right? These are little tiny ones, but the ones that we eat, that we get as snacks are a little bit bigger. So, but they look like that usually. So there's the picture of the shell, right? At number 2, it says germinate. So that's a big word for starting to sprout. Once it is planted in the soil, a sunflower seed needs plenty of water and sunlight to help it germinate or sprout. The roots stretch out under the soil and begin to absorb nutrients and water to help the sunflower grow. So that's the first thing that goes down are the roots. All right, and then you see the sprout starting to come up. So roots go down, the sprout goes up, and then we get to number 3, photosynthesis. That's a big word. Everybody say photosynthesis. Good. Once the plant grows roots and sprouts, and it sprouts leaves, it creates its own food in a process called photosynthesis from air, sunlight, and water. So yeah, that little plant is pulling in the sunlight, the water, uses the air, and it makes its own food. It makes sugars. Those are its foods. Okay, now we're on to number 4. Guess what? A flower bud grows first. Inside the bud, the many different parts of the flower grow and develop. When it is ready, it will bloom and reveal its beautiful yellow yellow petals. So there it is. That's the first part that you'll start to see on top of that little sprout. Because you guys are going to plant some of these seeds later, and you're going to watch them, and you'll see this whole process, this whole life cycle. Next, we go to number 5, pollination. Plants grow flowers to attract helpful insects such as bees and butterflies that fly from plant to plant. This allows the sunflower to produce new seeds. So there's that little bee flying from flower to flower. The wind blows. We're going to number 6. Sometimes it's wind, sometimes it's animals maybe walking by, bump into a flower, maybe it's, you know, rain or something falls or somebody walks by. But whatever it is, it will bump out those dried seeds. This is after the sunflower is real dry and it droops down. In fact, I have one right here. And the seeds drop into the ground. So that's when the wind blows or something knocks it, the seeds fall down and go into the ground. All right, that's number 5. So check it out. This used to be a nice, tall, beautiful sunflower, but it dried out, which is normal. This is part of the life cycle. And it started to bend over. It started to droop. So the old stem used to come all the way down here. And this is what is left. Now look, we can see the dried old petals, the old yellow petals are all dried up and around. Now I'd like you to look real closely. Do you see those white dots inside? Those are the seeds. So that is what we're going to scratch out a little bit, and I'll show you what it looks like when you harvest seeds. So hopefully your flower will grow nice and big, and then when it dries, maybe at the end of the summer, you can save some of these seeds too and try to regrow them. All right, so that's what that looks like. So back to our paper. Now we're back to this part because we've done the full life cycle. We went from seed to sprout to little seedling, they call that a seedling, a baby plant, to the baby flower, to the full adult flower, and now it's drying and dropping its seeds. And what happens with those seeds that drop in the ground? They go through the process all over again. They start to grow. So you can see how cool nature is, that it keeps regrowing itself. So this is a cool thing to think about for Earth Day, that we're helping nature regrow. All right, let's read about planting as we plant. But first, let's go through this. Did you know? I'm going to do some facts. Oh, I forgot our quiz question. Okay, number 2 question. On the back of your paper, right? Number 2. And it's about this, what we just learned. Here's the question. You can push pause. What is the big name for the process that plants make their food? All right, pause and answer. Okay. Next section. Let's go to Did You Know? Let's see, number A, we're going to go to a little a. The round middle part of a fully grown sunflower is actually full of many tiny flowers. Look closely at a sunflower in bloom and you will see. Each of these tiny flowers has the sunflower seed developing underneath. So if you look at the middle part, which is actually right here, this part, see, these used to be the flowers. They're all kind of dried up and yucky looking now. But underneath each of those, they're tiny little flowers, and each flower has a seed behind it, which is pretty interesting. I think that's pretty neat. So you think of it as one flower, but it's called a composite flower. It's got a lot of little flowers. All right. Let's go to B. Bees are pollinators that are necessary for our food crops to grow. You guys hopefully know about the bees. C, when the sunflower dries out, you can save the seeds and plant them or eat them. These seeds that you guys are gonna grow, we're not gonna eat them because they're little tiny ones. But when you grow a big, huge sunflower, you can save those seeds. All right, D, you can eat seeds raw or roasted. You usually crack off the shell and only eat the kernel inside. So we have those for snacks. Wanna come here, Charlotte? Charlotte's gonna join me. All right, the seeds are a great snack. They give you energy with lots of vitamins, protein, and healthy oils. So sunflower seeds are healthy snacks. Very good for you. Nature's snacks. Next time you're at the store, you can ask your parents, hey, can I try some sunflower seeds? Ways that sunflowers are used as pretty flower bouquets. You can save the seeds and grow more flowers. So that's the second one. To use seeds as bird food. Charlotte, you want to get our bird food and we can show them some of the bird food in the bottom? You can eat the sunflower seeds. We talked about that. That's 4 ways. To make the seeds into sunflower butter. That's like peanut butter, but they mash up the sunflower seeds and they make peanut butter for people who can't, they make sunflower butter for people who can't eat peanuts. And 6th way, you can squeeze the oil out of the seeds to use for cooking. And so they do that at big factories. They can squeeze a whole bunch of sunflower seeds and make lots of oil for cooking. I mean, they put it in a bottle and we cook with it. All right, so here's your quiz question for this section. All right, number 3, ready? Name 2 ways that sunflower seeds are used. You can pause. All right. Okay, Charlotte brought over. Say hi, Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte.
The bird seed, and you can see all of the good sunflower seeds in here. All the black ones on top are sunflower seeds. Even though it's a big mixture, and you can get this at the grocery store or Home Depot or whatever. But our birds love to eat this, and we like to fill up our bird feeders every once in a while, and they eat the sunflower seeds. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the Let's Plant section. All right, so number 1. Well, first of all, let's unpack our bag. You guys all pick one up. What do you see first, Charlotte?
Sunflower mixture.
Yay, sunflower mixture. All right, let's open it on up.
Okay. Can I read the back?
And make sure you guys are working somewhere where things are gonna get maybe a little bit dirty. So if you're not already next to a sink or outside, you might wanna push pause and move your stuff out next to somewhere where it won't get dirty. Now don't lose these, they're small.
They're
All right.
really tiny.
There's 4 seeds in there, okay? You can read on your packet. You wanna read what kind they are?
So the first one is a Velvet Queen.
All right, I'm gonna show you which is which, if I can remember. A Velvet Queen is the little tiny black one.
Dwarf Sunspot.
The dwarf sunspot is opposite. It's the biggest seed. It's the one that's kind of striped and it looks like a regular sunflower seed that we eat. Gosh, I keep dropping it. Okay.
The next one is Teddy Bear.
The teddy bear, I think, is the other small black one.
There's some weird names. Italian White.
And the Italian white is the white looking one. And this is what they're gonna look like, hopefully, when they're in full bloom. So, you wanna read them again?
Sure. This is Dwarf Sunset.
Dwarf sunspot is
Sunspot.
this one. Looks like the traditional sunflowers that we know.
Velvet Queen.
Velvet Queen is this red one.
Teddy Bear.
Teddy bear is this puffy orange one. Why do you think they call it teddy bear?
Because it's like kind of soft though.
It looks
and,
like
fuzzy.
softer. Uh-huh.
And the Italian White. Is
Italian white. It's kind of whitish petals, whitish
like,
yellow
wait, is
petals.
that white or is that?
Kind of looks like it. All right, so
yellow.
let's keep these
Yeah.
real safe.
All right.
That's okay, we can just put them off to the side. All right, now it says A, fill your pot with soil all the way to the top. So let's look in our pack. Oh, the soil. Now, what do you think the best way is to fill this with soil? And you'll see inside your pot there is a little piece of paper. This is a cut up coffee filter. And this keeps the soil from running out of the holes. It lets the water drain through because you don't want your water to be too wet, but it keeps all the soil in so you don't get a big mud puddle under your pot when you water it. Okay, how should we pour it in? What do you think?
Handful or spoon or something?
You know what I would do, guys? I would go like this. So try to make like a little spout and just slowly shake it. You want to do it? See if it works.
Oh, I can feel it. It's kind of squishy.
Yeah, you feel it's kind of wet and squishy because it's a little bit moist in here.
How much?
Well, let's see. It says fill your pot with soil all the way to the top.
Oh, okay.
Now this part, you don't have to pat it down. You can just let it be nice and fluffy, just the way it is.
Like that?
All the way to the top. Keep going, keep going. So some might spill over. That's why I want you guys to be outside or next to a sink or somewhere you can clean off. It's okay, keep going. All right, done. Now you can lightly pat it. Not too much, yeah, just till it's nice and even along the top. And you'll see why later. I'll show you why it should go all the way to the top. Okay, B, put your 4 seeds on top of the soil in a square pattern. Okay. Wait, where'd that other one go? Did I drop one? Oh, here it is. Okay, What do you think that means, Charlotte? I'm gonna hold this. Put your seeds in a square pattern. Will you do that?
Like, okay. Like that.
Just put them right on top of the soil. You don't have to push it.
Oh.
That's fine. Good. Now, I might change this a little by scooting them a little further apart. Because what's going to happen is we want these to grow and have lots of nice space in the pot. Because later you're going to transplant them outside. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, now what does it say? Push, let's go to letter C. Push the seed in with your finger just until you can't see your fingernail. Gently fill the hole back up with soil.
Okay. So, like that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Good. And then gently fill the hole with soil. Yeah, pat, pat, pat. Good, very good. All right. Now, let's see, D. You guys can be, I hope you're pausing and doing this with us. If you want to do it that way, that works. Okay, D, water your sunflower until the whole pot is soaked. Be sure to do this over a sink because it will drip and drain out from the bottom. All right, so let's go over to our sink.
Should I carry this?
Yep, go ahead and carry it. Okay, now we're gonna turn on our sink real lightly. We don't wanna do too hard of water.
Okay, so
I like this little squirty.
I do it.
Yep, go ahead, soak it. Now you'll know it's soaked because the water is gonna start dripping out of the bottom at kind of the same speed that it's going in. There, it's really dripping now.
Should I stop?
Yep, that's good. And see, it's gonna drip through, drip, drip, drip. Keep letting it drip. And I like to kind of shake it. Let that gravity pull the water out, drip, drip. And you may even want to get a little dish or something to put this on. So we have these small little plates. Here we go, Charlotte. So see if you have a small plate or a paper plate or even a folded up newspaper or something you can put it on so the drips don't get all over your counter or your windowsill. Okay, and then actually speaking of that, oh yeah, now look, remember how our soil was all the way up to the top? Now it's down a little bit, isn't it?
Why is that?
Why do you think it is?
The water took over?
The water really packed it down, right? It just sort of unfluffed it. It made it compact down. So that's why we fill it to the top, because then it squishes down with the water. Okay, and then we're gonna find a sunny spot to put our plant.
There's a lot of glasses.
I know. So we have this nice little sunny windowsill. And hopefully you guys can find a sunny windowsill too. All right, let's go back. If you don't have a sunny windowsill, you can also put your little pot outside in the sun somewhere. Just keep real close eye on it because it'll dry out even more outside. So just make sure it stays a little bit moist. We are on, yeah, we just did E. Put your sunflower in a sunny location, maybe on a windowsill.
Okay.
All right, what's next?
Now, letter F. Water about a quarter cup every day or every other day. Fill the soil with your finger if you're not sure.
So here's our quarter cup. It's not very much. And so every day, just put that in, but always feel it. If your window isn't super sunny, your soil might still be real soggy. You don't want it to be too wet. All right, so if it's not too wet, add this. If it feels too wet from the day before, you can skip a day and let it dry out just a little, but damp, just barely damp.
And when it Oh, you already.
Yeah, when it feels barely damp, then you know it's time to water. Okay, now G, what's going to happen after these seeds? Let's read the package too. How many days will it take for them to grow? 2 to 4 weeks. So if it's April, 22nd? 2 weeks would be into May, the second week of May, second week of May.
The 22nd?
Or maybe into the end of May. So sometime in May, these flowers will come up, we hope, little sprouts. And let's see, it doesn't say how long until they're fully grown. So we'll just see, but when those sprouts are as tall as your tallest finger, here, hold up yeah. So as tall as one of your tall fingers, when your sprout's about this big, that's when you can take your whole pot outside, dig a hole in a nice sunny spot where it's going to get a little bit of water. And what you're going to do is squeeze the plant and the little seedlings carefully out of the plastic pot so that you're just holding the dirt and the roots with the little seedlings, and then you put it in the ground. Dig a hole in a nice sunny spot where it's going to get a little bit of water and plant it. So if you plant that outside, that's called transplanting, okay? And then they will get from 2 to 5 feet tall. So each of these varieties has a different height. So let's see, the Velvet Queen, no, this one's Velvet Queen. Velvet Queen will get 4 to 5 feet tall. So it has to be a tall spot either in your yard or in a pot. The Dwarf Sunspot will get about 2 feet tall. The Italian White will get about 4 feet tall. How tall are you? 4'8"?
I think
so. That flower will come up to maybe your chin, this one. And the Teddy Bear says it will grow only up to 2 feet tall. So that's about where your knee is or your thigh, something like that. So these will be a little shorter. So, but the biggest one will be the Velvet Queen. That could be as tall as you are. All right, so think about that when you plant them outside, the space that they need. Okay, here's your quiz question for that section. On the back of your paper, write a number 4 and tell me how much water should you give your sunflower, either every day or every other day, depending on how damp the soil is. Okay. Now the last part we're going to read down here all about Earth Day. Earth Day is April 22nd. Ways to help. Number 1, clean up litter in the oceans, beaches, and on land. So clean up your litter, right? We don't want to litter. Number 2,
Ow.
Make that too tall. Yeah, there, sprout it up. Reduce your landfills, our landfills, all of our landfills, with the 3 R's. What are the 3 R's?
Reduce, recycle, and reuse.
Very good, the 3 R's. All right, and composting is recycling. So composting, maybe I'll do another lesson about composting where we take all of our banana peels and apple cores and stuff like that and we turn them back into soil. All right, 3, another way we can help our Earth on Earth Day. Save Earth's resources by not wasting water, electricity, or gas. Do we do that at our house?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. 4, add plants to help clean our air and try growing some of your own. There you go. 5, grow organically without bad chemicals. So pesticides and herbicides don't kill our pollinators. And number 6, where's your 6th finger?
Right here.
Oh, there. Learn about all of these areas and keep working to help our environment and our Earth. All right? Okay, quiz question for this section down at the bottom that we just learned. What do the 3 R's stand for? Okay. All right, I was going to show you how to harvest your little seeds. When your sunflower looks like this, you're probably going to have to get clippers and clip it here. Get your parents to help you with that. And you can just sort of start to rub the flower parts off that are dried. And you'll see all the seeds underneath. And this is what all the old petals look like. And then you can kind of take your fingernail and just start to scratch them out a little. And there's one. So they do start to come out. And you can collect them all, and you can try to replant them right away if you want, but it might be better to save them in a paper envelope, like something like this, because they breathe really well in there. They have air kind of flowing through the paper. And save them until maybe next spring. Write a little note about what they are, and keep them in a dry, cool spot, like in your drawer or something. And then next spring, around this time again, you can plant them. You can even plant them early, like January or February. And just keep planting them as long as it's warmish weather, and they'll keep growing for you. And all of your packages you can recycle. So go find hopefully your green bin, or just your paper recycling can take all of these. And your pot, when you're done using it, you can reuse your little pot for more planting. Regarding your answers on your little quiz, why don't you get those to Mr. Shiflett somehow? I don't know how he wants to get those answers from you, but look into that, because he might want to know that you did the lesson and you learned. Okay, thanks. All right, so keep learning about all this, you guys. Learn about the butterflies and the bees and all the good parts of our earth. Okay, thank you. Good luck with your sunflowers. I hope that they all grow, and maybe Mr. Shiflett will give me a report, and or Charlotte will, and see your pictures. All right, bye. Parents can email me with any questions. I'm at jrcon@gmail.com. Okay, bye.
Bye.